it's also going to change the way we work. What these agents are going to be able to do, they do coding, they do research, they do analytics, they'll do spreadsheets over time.
Amazon just fired 14,000 employees and the CEO says that it's not about money or AI, it's about culture. And this has sparked a huge debate in the community. People are losing it. They are absolutely angry, especially the people who have been laid off. They are not happy with the statement. Because while 14,000 people are posting their layoff stories on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and there are even Reddit posts that are going viral, some of them were on vacation, some of them are crying to the cats. While all this is happening, Amazon stock just jumped 12% up. So I don't understand how is this a culture problem? And I'm sure you have the same question too. I've been laid off 3 times in my career before I decided to build my own thing. I gave up on applying for jobs because jobs are not safe. They were never safe, to be very honest. The last time I was laid off, it clicked me that this is a cycle and it's going to repeat, which means I will never have something of my own until I don't stand up on my legs. And that cannot be done until I work for a company. And I think it's high time that you guys decide that too. Because today you're fired from Amazon. Probably tomorrow when you find a job, in the next few years you'll be fired from there as well, because that's how the companies run. But this has been happening in a lot of companies in the past decade or so. It has happened in Microsoft and Accenture or any big tech companies, or even, mid-scale to small-scale companies. Even the startups are firing people. So let me just tell you what I think, and trust me, you would want to hear this. It is pretty evident that we are living in a time where you cannot rely on a job, because today you're getting up in the morning and you're going and working for somebody. Tomorrow that same somebody might just come back and fire you, and there's nothing in your control. So that is why it is high time for you to get up, stock up, gear up, and start doing something of your own. So here's really what happened. Earlier this week, Amazon announced that there'll be 14,000 job cuts, and this could go all the way up to 30,000. We don't know yet, but that's nearly 10% of the Amazon workforce. People are finding it out through 3 AM text messages, or their access is being pulled overnight. They're being denied entry at the office. But this is not something new. I mean, it should remind you of the last 10 years, especially after COVID. It became a very regular pattern of all these big techs to lay people off left, right, and center without even giving a damn. I think it's the same thing. But all of this wasn't in the limelight until the CEO, Andy Jassy, made a very controversial statement. He said that the announcements we made a few days ago were not really financially driven, and it's not even really AI driven. Not right now, at least. It's culture. I still don't get it. How's this culture? Number one, either those 14,000 employees were not up to the mark to meet the culture standards of Amazon, or maybe the culture is so bad that maybe the good people don't deserve to be there. So what is it? I think CEOs should now be straightforward rather than putting out such controversial statements. They should be very honest that they're trying to, cut the company cost. And obviously, today AI is doing a lot of things much better than human, and companies are adopting AI. So a lot of these layoffs are going to happen whether you like it or not. But the problem is that the way these layoffs are done and the way they should be handled is something that these companies should learn. While we understand that this is a company-driven initiative, we all know that this is related to AI. It cannot be anything else. Being straightforward and transparent to your employees is one of the best things a leader can do, and Andy missed out on that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that nothing says that laying off 14,000 employees is company culture. I don't think it is. Now, while I was talking, you missed something. You missed a very important thing. And let's break it down. The statement Andy made specifically mentioned "not right now at least." What does that mean? It only means that it's coming. We know that it was because of AI. We know that it was because of a lot of restructuring that is being done across the world throughout the companies, and we all know that. But this specific thing, this small thing in that statement, "not right now at least," is a warning to all the existing employees. Prepare yourself. Be ready, because it's gonna come. And that is why it is very important for you to have a plan B, because believe it or not, AI is coming for us. And the only way to win in an AI era is to upskill yourself, upgrade yourself, forget what you were being taught in the past, reset yourself. If you don't do it, you're next and you won't have anything else in your hand. So before you're being laid off, before it comes to you, before it happens to you, make sure you have something in your hand. Let it not be a job. Let it not be anything. Let it not be a source of income. I'm talking about skills. I'm talking about upgrading yourself. I'm talking about knowledge. I'm talking about exposure. I'm talking about a lot of things that you as a human can do, basically upgrading yourself. Because tomorrow, when companies come back to hire humans, they would not want you, they would want a better version of you. People who can manage AI, who can direct AI, who can mentor AI. Because a CEO cannot handle the entire AI system. He will need experts who can handle these things. You don't have to buy a paid course. You don't have to buy anything. Everything is available online. Every damn thing is available online. If you know how to search on the internet, you're good to go. Because what Andy said is not an accident. It is a very strategic statement. It is a very strategic statement. Now, this is where his CEO skills come in handy. This is what they are all about. When they make statements, even if, it feels like they made a mistake, which I still feel. But then there's a strategic part of it. That there's a small thing in it which says not now at least. It's a warning. That way you should thank Andy because he has already given you a red flag. Now it's your turn. The ball is in your court. Go for it. And if you think about it, not now at least. It only says one thing, that today we are blaming the culture, but tomorrow it's definitely going to be AI. So that's the best decode possible right here. And we know this, and it's already in the news that there are a lot of internal memos that specifically mention AI transformation. It mentions efficiency gains. And their own HR executives said that this is about adapting to transformative technology. But here's something that's going to tickle your brain. They posted a reel on TikTok where they said that this whole narrative is wrong. And he said that this is not about AI. It's not about AI replacing the workers. Amazon is basically trading GPUs for workers. And there were few mentions of Amazon being really desperate right now to keep up in the AI race with Microsoft and Google, that they cannot afford both humans and the chips that can power the AI. So they are kicking out humans and they're going for the chips. This is kind of a system now. It's sort of a playbook that most of the companies are following. And I think even maybe you know better than me because I've not been working for the past 3 years, but people who have seen a lot more layoffs in the past 3 years, I think this must have clicked them. What companies are doing is, what they've done is, they first hired during pandemic, COVID. Amazon tripled their workforce between 2017 and 22. And there were a lot of big tech companies, small tech companies, mid-scale companies, non-tech companies, non-IT companies, startups, XYZ. Everybody hired. And people were like, they were hiring people left, right, center with, into 3 salaries, into 5x salaries and everything. And that was step 1. And then suddenly the economy slowed down, right? And the companies realized that they have overhired, they've overbuilt, and they were not prepared for this because the economy is down. The investors started asking questions. And when investors start asking questions, it's only when the stocks don't perform. Now, step 3 is that they are now blaming anything but the actual reason, because if they blame the actual reason, then it's going to spark much more than just a controversy. So they're just running around with excuses. But I'll tell you why that happens, because think of yourself as someone who's in a position of a CEO. It gets really difficult for you to put out a straightforward statement. You must, to be very honest, you have to, because the best thing to do with your employees is to be always transparent. Always be straightforward, let them know what's happening. But the problem is, you have your investors' pressure, you have your peer pressure, you have your board pressure, you have a lot of things around as a CEO, and it gets really, really difficult for you to actually, decide what do you need to put out. And maybe that's what happened with Andy. But again, I just feel that saying that it's culture right now and saying it's AI after 5 years, you better say it's AI right now. Because then it's going to make it easier for you to lay off people after 5 years. And it's also going to make it easier for the people who are working right now to prepare themselves to have something of their own before they are being laid off. As a CEO, you can really do something good at this point of time rather than putting out a statement like this. But again, we don't know, you and I don't know what happened back there, what was discussed in the board meeting, and why was Andy led to, put out such a statement or whatever it is, or maybe he actually made a mistake, maybe he fumbled, God knows, but that's the case. That's the step 3. They're going to blame anything but the actual reason. In this case, Amazon is blaming culture, which doesn't make sense. Even an employee who is just a year old in the company, who's just a newbie in the company, even he or she will figure it out that this is just a blatant excuse. But moving forward, step 4 would be that they are going to use AI as the excuse while they invest billions in AI. If you're watching the news, if you're following the AI news, if you follow AI topics, by now you know that Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and Oracle, and a lot of big techs, these multinational giants, they're investing trillions, not even billions, they're investing trillions in AI. So if they have the funds to do that, if they have the cash flow to do that, it obviously means that they are now trying to go 100% AI. And going 100% AI only means one thing: take the human out first. Because humans are getting irrelevant right now, and that is exactly why I said before that it's all on you now. Nobody's coming to save you. Don't expect another company to hire you. Even if they hire, don't expect them to be loyal with you. Companies will never stay loyal with you. Ask anybody who you know, anybody who's running a company, they will only look at profits. Nothing more than that. Because at the end of the day, they want to make money. Just like how you want to make money, they want to make money. It's as simple as that. So like I said, the companies are now investing billions and even trillions into the AI technology. And it's a genius move because that's how you cut people off. While you say that you're doing this to move faster, to keep up with the technology or whatever it is, what you're actually doing is you're reinvesting the human salaries into AI. Instead of paying you, they're now going to pay AI to do things that you are doing. And while today Andy's statement sounds like an excuse, 5 years from now, they're just going to come and tell you, not just Amazon, any company, they're just going to come and tell you, we are only doing this to adapt to the AI technology, to adapt to the AI era. That's when they'll be really honest with you. But good that Andy made this statement, and the specific line, not now at least, should give you a lot more information than what you wanted. And guess what? Wall Street loves it. Any stock market loves it. It doesn't matter which country you're watching this video from. Your stock market is going to love it. Because Amazon stocks are climbing up day by day. So we all know what's happening. Now, if you're one of the people who just got laid off, I'm really sorry. And I know it's hard. Because I've been through this situation 3 times in my life, and there's nothing that can comfort you, to be very honest. When I got laid off for the first time, I was panicking. I thought my career is over. And I immediately went back to my system and I sent out so many resumes. I was applying for jobs where I wasn't even relevant. I was panicking. And then I landed my next job. 2 years into the job, and then my entire team was laid off, simply stating that they cannot afford to pay the team anymore. At least they were honest. Trust me, that transition went so well, but again, it was a shock to everyone. And none of us had prepared by then, because this was back in 2018 to 2020, my second company, and we always believed that this is it. We got a new job. Perfect. Okay, you know what? Now we're going to grow here. This is where we're going to settle. But 2 years down the line, sorry, we can't pay you. And then it was my third company after that. Of course, there was a career break because I was again looking for jobs, and this is going to happen with all of you. Then comes my third job, which was through a referral. A friend of mine referred me somewhere and I got through, and I was there for just 4 months. And in 4 months, my profile, my position was restructured from something to something else. And I didn't want that something else, but I still worked hard for it. And I somehow realized that my CEO was not clear about a lot of things. And I saw him hiring 2 people after me and firing them in a month, which gave me a very clear idea back then that this is probably going to happen with me. But thankfully, by then, although I had just 2 or 3 months in hand, I had mentally prepared myself. I was already applying for jobs and everything. Of course, I was not doing what I'm doing today, but I was mentally prepared that this is going to happen, because the first 2 times prepared me so well that the third time didn't even feel like something happened. But the third time was more of a motivation for me. It helped me understand what this is all about. It helped me understand the system. It helped me understand that it doesn't matter how much you study, what kind of degree you have. It doesn't matter what skills you have. You are always replaceable. When that happened to me, I was very sure that now I'm not going to go for a job. I'm going to build something of my own. And to build something of my own, I had to upgrade myself. I had to upskill myself. I had to learn a lot of things. I had to go through a lot of hardships. And today now, when I'm sitting in front of a camera and talking to all of you so confidently, trust me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, and it's still not easy, because there are still a lot of things that I'm going through. There's still a lot of challenges, but I keep improving every day, and this is what we have to do. That is the only key to survival right now. Focus on the future. See what's going to happen. Keep yourself updated with the trends. Understand the market. If you don't, you're gone. You're gone. You'll have nothing in your hand. Anyways, enough boring you guys, but just wanted to let you know that this is coming from someone who's just like you, and I've gone through a similar situation 3 times in my life. So you can trust my word when I say all of this. And I missed on something. The past 3 years, I've become a completely different person. I've upgraded and upskilled myself so much that now when these companies come back and if they ever want to hire me, I would straight up say no, because they can't afford me now. They cannot afford me. I think I'm on a level where if these companies come back and even if they pay me 10x salary, I would straight up say no, because that 10x salary is still less. Because now I am bigger and better than them. Take this as a guidance. Start working on yourself right now. And probably in a year, probably in 6 months. Look, I took 3 years because of a lot of challenges. I'm not saying it takes 3 years. You can even do this in 6 months. Okay? The point is, once you commit to yourself, alright, so far you have been committing to your work life. It's time you commit to yourself. Once you commit to yourself, it's only a matter of time. Trust me, it's only a matter of time before you become a totally different person. And the companies who once laid you off, who once kicked you out, who once fired you, they wouldn't mean anything to you. Okay, moving on. Don't panic. Don't think that AI is going to replace all of us tomorrow. If you remember, I said this. The future jobs will be about managing AI. It'll be about mentoring AI. It'll be about teaching AI. AI is like a kid right now, but a very powerful kid. A kid that is learning very quickly. A kid that may go out of hand. And that is why tomorrow companies will need people who can manage that kid. And that is exactly where you come in. If you don't learn AI right now, if you don't upgrade yourself, if you don't understand how AI works, if you don't understand the fundamentals, if you don't understand how companies are adopting AI, for example, why don't you look up how Amazon is going to transform itself with AI? That one article alone is going to teach you a lot of things. And you start from there and then you move on. And then you start learning the AI tools. You start learning them one by one. Whichever role that you are in or whichever role that you are in right now, there's always an AI there that can do something better than you. And once you learn that AI, you're already ahead of 99% of people. So this is the moment where you decide if you're going to be the person that AI replaces you, or you're going to be the person who uses AI to become 10x better, 10x more valuable. And I think it should be the second one. It has to be the second one. And I'll be very honest to you guys, AI is not difficult. A lot of people think that AI is too technical and oh, what is AI and this? It's not. It's super simple. It's so easy. Trust me. It's nothing compared to what you studied in your school and your college. It's nothing compared to that. Trust me. Maths is still difficult right now, to be very honest. Maths is still difficult. Algebra, calculations, and integration calculations and XYZ, whatever it was, that's way more difficult. AI is nothing. So here's the truth that most of the companies are not telling their employees. AI is not replacing your thinking. AI is replacing your execution, which is okay to a certain extent. It is okay for certain profiles. But if you're a good thought leader, if you're someone who can crack through a problem, if you're someone who can think through a problem, then that still holds a higher value for a company. But it'll take time for them to realize this thing. So if your job is purely based on execution, which means someone comes and tells you that today this is what needs to be done, and if it's purely execution, then you're in trouble because AI will 100% replace you. But if you're someone who is deciding on what tasks needs to be done, or if you're someone who requires judgment, relationships, if your job requires judgment, if your job requires good bonding, good relationships, strategic thinking, then they cannot replace you. Trust me. Like I said, you will be the person who will manage AI in the future. But it depends on how well you understand AI today. So start today, start now. So like I said before, stop waiting for stability. There are no stable jobs anymore. Don't trust a job. Don't trust your future with a job. The only stability is your ability to adapt faster than the market change. Next up, start learning what AI can do. Stick to your niche, whichever profile or whichever segment or division or region that you're in. Whatever your work profile is, stick to that and see how AI is transforming that particular field. Learn everything about it, because tomorrow when the new jobs open up, they're going to want people like you who understands AI, who knows the depth of it, who can understand the fundamentals of it. They would want people like you. And that also means develop more judgment, develop more critical thinking, develop more strategic thinking, learn to lead. Because I remember reading one of these articles from a very strategic leader. He said that most of the people will be leaders tomorrow because everybody will have something of their own and they'll be managing a lot of people. When he said managing a lot of people, the people are not humans. He meant agentic AIs. If you don't know what an agentic AI is basically you can create an AI for yourself using XYZ platforms. I'm not going to take the name of the platforms. You can Google it up. You can train that AI to do a specific task for you. For example, let's say if you're someone who works from home and you want the AI to attend the meetings on your behalf, it can be done. If you're someone who manages a team and you want the AI to, build the reports for you or do a lot of your office tasks, all the documentation work and everything that takes up a lot of your time, you can do it right then, and your company will never know that you're actually using an AI for that. That's how advanced the AI has gotten. And these are very basic examples, to be very honest. There are a lot of things that an agentic AI can do. And the best part is you can make it happen because it's so easy to build an agentic AI. Of course, there's a learning curve. It does get a bit technical. You'll have to learn new tools and everything. But I mean, we are humans. We have always adapted. So why not this? Let's go for it. Now, the third thing, which is actually going to help you upskill or upgrade, is to build something of your own. Now, once you decide, once you learn something, once you upskill yourself, once you upgrade yourself, it is very important for you to try it out practically. Now, I don't care what it is. Maybe you can, maybe you can have your own YouTube channel as a side project, and share all the information that you know. Or maybe you can actually do, some different kind of projects on the skills that you have recently learned. The point is, practical knowledge is very important. So you need to try it out practically somewhere. You need to test yourself. You need to test how deep the water is. And that is exactly when you will be called as someone who understands the fundamentals, who knows what it is. It's high time you do that. You can even build a consulting gig. You can build part-time courses. The point is, try it out practically, because these are the things that are really going to challenge you. And these are the things that are going to put you ahead of 99% people today. Simple as that. Because the reality is that Amazon will do this again, and not just Amazon. Any company would do this again. The era of corporate loyalty is dead. Remember this when I say the era of corporate loyalty is dead. Don't trust jobs anymore. They're going to lay you off the second it's more profitable to do so. And look, I'm not saying this to scare you. Please don't get scared. I'm saying this because I wish someone had told this to me back when this was happening with me and a lot of people like me. The companies are always going to survive and they will, but the question is, are we going to survive? And if we have to survive, then how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do this by upgrading ourselves. We're going to do this by upskilling ourselves. We are going to do this by completely changing our mindset. We are not going to rely on the single income that comes from our job. We are going to build something of our own, because that's the only thing that's going to stand out in the next few years. Because this is just a start. In the next few years, you're going to watch a lot of things happen. But by then, it is up to you, the position that you will be in. Either you're going to watch the world flipping and you're going to be completely okay with it and comfortable because you have already built something and you already know everything what's happening. You have all the knowledge. So you'll be relaxed. You will be okay. Or else you're going to be someone like what you are today. You'll be panicking. You'll be clueless. You'll have no idea as to what's going to happen with you, and you'll have no backup plan, you'll have no plan B, and it'll become very difficult for you to survive. So please, please, please start paying attention to yourself, start committing to yourself. Now, I don't know how many people are going to watch this video, but if you're someone who was recently laid off, not just by Amazon, but by any other company, and if you feel that this is solely because we are now entering the AI revolution, we are now entering the AI era, I would really want to hear your stories. So please, please, please drop them in the comments, and I'd love to have a conversation with each and every one of you. The goal of my channel is very simple. We are going to go through a lot more of noise. This is just the start. But you and I are going to be the people who will have absolute clarity going forward. We'll be the ones who will know what's happening. We'll be the ones who will know what needs to be done. We'll be the ones who will be guiding other people, who will be helping other people. And this channel right here is the start of that movement. I want you to join it. I want you to share this video with a lot of people who you think are capable enough to understand what's happening in the world, and they're capable enough to lead others. They're capable enough to mentor others. They're capable enough to handle these things. They're capable enough to have absolute clarity. Join the movement, join the initiative. Let's hold our hands together and move forward.